Good evening, Mr. and Mrs. North America, or wherever you may find yourself. I'm Silver Sterling, and are you ready for a mystery? Hexaco Motor Oils presents the Hexaco Mystery Radio Hour, sponsored by Hexaco. Tonight, we bring you tales from the gritty streets of Chicago with Gun for Hire.
Trust. It's hard to find these days. And the path to finding someone you can trust is like looking for a piece of hay in a needle stack. You might find it, but it's going to hurt along the way. The good doctor, Miles Pike, doesn't know who he can trust in Capone's outfit. Irving Holt trusts he just got the photo of a lifetime of the alley cat killer. Bam Bam is trying to learn how to trust anyone outside of his own two fists. And Grace Gunn? Well, she's landed a case that you can trust is going to take her someplace she may not want to go. And yet, when it comes to the cold streets of Chicago, these four are going to have to learn to trust each other before they get burned.
Loose wiper blades screeched across the cab's dirty glass like thick nails on a transparent chalkboard. The snow danced outside the window like white plumes on a hearse. I mulled the Heltzberg case over in my head. He trusted I could find his brother, yet my mind was searching for his deception, his ulterior motives. Just like the sun trying to play peekaboo through the cloudy winter sky, my mind failed to spot a reason to mistrust. Every time I trusted someone, they ended up reminding me why I shouldn't trust anyone at all. After all, I trusted the cabbie knew where he was going, but not turning 2 blocks ago meant the cabbie was taking me for the long ride, trusting I was some defenseless dame. A few harsh words and the revolver in my bag to back it up would prove him wrong when we arrived. But let him take the long way. I needed time to think before meeting the fellas. Trust issues, my sister would say. More than that, I always responded. I trusted that Irving would be happy to help with the case. It would be hard to keep it quiet, and he had resources. But I couldn't trust he wouldn't spin it to his advantage and sell the story for personal gain. One should never trust someone who will tell you another person's secrets. They'll share yours in a heartbeat. Tommy. I could trust Tommy and his muscle, but knew he would try to work an angle just like anyone else. He and I had a checkered past, but I got the feeling he didn't trust himself around me yet. That made my distrust easy. It was comfortable between us. I don't trust anyone and don't expect anyone to trust me. So it's comfortable when it's mutual. Then there's Doc. He had secrets. Deep ones. Sure, the fellow was all right, but trust is hard and fragile at the same time. Once earned, it teases us with endless freedom. Once broken, it can be impossible to recover. The truth is, we never know who we can trust. And those we are closest to can betray us faster than a beggar gulping the last of his gin.
And Grace, I think when we left off with you, you had the addresses, and William had left, right?
Yes.
And then were you going to just kind of go run the errands that you had that you were going to go do before you met, or and then you're just going to meet up, or
Whatever I thought I was going to do kind of got kicked to the side a little bit.
okay.
I'm going to go to the country club first.
Okay.
See, I told you I was going to mess up your plans.
All right. All right, so you're going to go to the country club then, Miss Gunn?
What time is it again?
It is, we will say it's essentially early evening. By the time you get to the country club, it's probably 6-ish or so. You're supposed to meet everybody at around 8, we'll say. 8 or 8:30.
So, yeah, that gives me time. So, I'll approach I'm assuming there's like a reception desk. That's what I was thinking of.
Yep, there's a very well-dressed woman. Hair is very perfectly coiffed, and she greets you at the door. And oh yes, hello. How can I help you this evening?
I'm doing just fine, ma'am. I was wondering if you could help me.
Well, of course, that's what I'm here to do.
I'm looking for someone.
All right, yes. Are they expecting you?
No.
Oh, you're not with you're not with a party for dinner. You're just dining alone.
No, I'm just trying. Is that a problem if I were?
Do you say that?
Yes.
She catches herself slightly. Well, no, of course not. Of course not. She gives you an up and down one more time. We've had many single guests here before.
Oh, Grace just kind of shakes her head and laughs a little bit. No, actually, I am here. I'm looking for a Mrs. Hellsberg. I was wondering if she was here this evening.
Is Mrs. Hellsberg expecting you?
I don't believe so.
And what, your name?
Grace Gunn.
And Miss Gunn, and you are with...
My business is my own. Actually, I prefer not to disclose that.
Let me... She gives a kind of a BS look down at her little clipboard thing, and then looks back up. She goes, let me check and see if she's here.
You do that.
Of course. And she kind of disappears back into the dining hall, and you can hear the sounds of dining going on back there. And there's some string music being played here as well. And you're looking, and you're seeing, a number of well-dressed people kind of walking back and forth. And there's like a little tiny bar off to the side. Some people are there talking. She comes back probably after about 2 minutes. Yes, Mrs. Hellsberg is here, and she's hosting a dinner with some guests, and she said that she'd be more than happy to meet with you when she's done, and again, she gives another BS look down at her clipboard, and she says, which would probably be in about half an hour or so. You're welcome to wait over there if you'd like.
Knowing that I have another appointment, I'm going to acquiesce a little bit because I don't want to spend all night here. I'm going to hand her a business card and just say to her, well, when Mrs. Hellsberg is free, have her call me.
Of course.
And you just have yourself a fine evening, ma'am.
Of course, you as well. Please stay warm out there. It's looks like the snow is just continuing to come down.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Not long now. I hope that you have someone to give gifts to this year.
I just look at her blankly before I turn around and leave, because her notebook isn't the only thing that's full of BS.
And you see, as you're turning away, you see she goes basically back to her station, but you are able to get out of there and go to meet the crew. We fade to black. I guess we're in noir, so we fade to black from you walking out of the country club, and we fade up on the interior of this sort of mediocre club, or middle of the road kind of club. It's not a mediocre club, it's just more of a middle of the road kind of club. And one by one, each of you has come in, made your various eye contact with each other, and made your way to the table where you normally sit, which has been left open for you by the bartender here. And the server, he's just finished dropping off each of your respective non-alcoholic drinks. If you all need anything else, you just let me know. He looks at you, Grace, and he says, "Put a little extra lime in there for you, Miss Gunn, just like the way you like it there."
Why, thank you. You must have known what kind of day I've been having.
Hey, I'm here to make you happy, so I'll let him know. I got you covered, Miss Gunn. It's all right.
Thank you.
He walks away.
I think we've been here a couple too many times. Irving, from the moment he walks in, the moment he sits down, is giddy. The entire time. You know, he's kind of fidgeting in his seat. He's got a smile. He just keeps glancing down at his camera bag. Even in his drink, he kind of takes it a little too fast.
Hey, Irving, what crawled up your shorts tonight? You seem a little more excited than usual.
Bet he found a girl.
That would be it.
A girl crawled up his shorts?
Sounds like.
Up in, you know.
Somebody at the table next to you just kind of turns his head and then turns his head back.
Mind your business, sir.
Thank you for asking. No, I found something better. So Irving leans in. I got a picture of the alley cat killer.
What?
That's right.
How?
I know it's hard to believe. In fact, I may even have 2. Do you know how much that's worth? Not to mention that because I've got a picture, they can actually catch him. Do you think they'll give me money for that?
That's assuming they don't assume you're the alley cat killer.
Is there a reward?
I don't know. Is there a reward? That's a good question.
Let's see.
For information on the alley cat killer?
We'll say that there is a reward for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the alley cat killer.
See, I think, I got the insight. If I, kind of push these through one of my contacts, I bet I could get some good money off this.
So, I realize I'm not the sharpest one here at this table, but, how?
What? Doing what I do best.
Which is what exactly?
Oh, maybe that's not the best way to put it. I followed a lead, and I went into this. I started, just kind of stalking this alleyway area that I thought this was where, like the south. Do you say the south side?
South side, yes.
Yes, in the south side. I thought I heard something, and so I followed it, and then somebody started running away from me, and so I chased him. Now you might think, but Irving, how could you possibly chase anyone? Well, the answer to that is that I know this place like the back of my hand. I cut him off, and I got a beautiful picture. And then he ran away. Oh, come on, aren't you impressed?
And so, you shot a picture of somebody running away from an alley? How do you know he was the killer?
Well said, Bam Bam.
See, that's the thing. He ran away from me. And as I get chased after him again. And then I slipped and fell because, my leg and all. But, just a couple alleys down, I heard this scream. And I saw a flash. And so I got up and I went over there. And there he was, over top a dead body. Now, if that's not the alley cat killer, I don't know what is. You're speechless, right?
Slow clap for him.
That's right.
The proof is going to be in the pudding. We got to wait for the pictures.
That's right. And once I'm done here, I'm going to go develop those pictures. I'll be set for like a month at least. Gotta be.
You gonna let us see them before you sell them?
I could get you a copy. This has been a good night for me.
I'm glad one of us is having a good night.
What happened to you, Bam Bam? Can't have been that bad. I don't see a black eye or anything.
Yet.
Let's just say, Officer and I didn't get along tonight.
Well, you're not in jail, so it can't have been that bad.
Yeah, well, don't want to attract their attention. Just got out, you know?
You got a little bit of point there.
But hey, troubles are like babies. They grow when you nurse them, so I'm gonna let this one go.
That's a good one. I'm gonna have to save that for when I actually get a reporting job once again.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that before, Bam Bam. I think we need to work on your colloquialisms a little bit.
Like I said, I'm not the sharpest one at the table here.
We'll work on that.
Miles, what about you?
Yeah, you're awful quiet over there.
Just soaking in the ambiance.
I mean, I know it's great to be in my presence, but
Really?
surely you had a good night. I thought you were playing at the club tonight, right?
I was. Did alright.
Yeah? Did you? That's good. Did you meet anyone? I mean, I didn't have any girls calling up my shorts, as you said, but I hear sax players do pretty well.
Some might.
You gotta watch those words.
I had somebody come up to me here before you guys arrived.
Oh, yeah?
Kept trying to get me to comment about the state of the mob in this town. Not sure what he was up for and what he was up to.
Really?
You think you're gonna have trouble coming your way?
I don't know. Just something to keep an eye on.
You need a little extra somebody watching over you?
Nah, I should be alright.
You just give word.
I'll let you know if that changes. Appreciate it.
I could put my ear to the ground, see what I hear.
Wouldn't hurt.
I got some guys I know.
Wouldn't hurt.
Is the mob actually going to do something?
We don't need another mob war in this town.
The scuttle in the street, too, when it comes to that, is that some are, there's been a lot of talk of various gangs, cultural gangs, kind of stepping up their things, but no one's quite pulled the serious trigger. I mean, there's been the occasional hit here and there, but
Well, that's to be expected.
yeah, that's to be expected. So that's kind of been the norm. You almost get this sense that there's this overriding pressure building for something, and you're just not sure what It almost like it needs a spark to set it off, and that just hasn't quite happened yet.
So, Miss Gunn, if I, do you want me to get you a photo of the alley cat killer first, so you can, hunt them down?
Are you chatting me up, Holt?
No, I'm just trying to get you a lead on something that could make you big headlines. Big headlines. You know how big the alley cat killer is right now?
What makes you think I want big headlines?
The money, of course.
We're not all driven by money.
Next time you're eating the last piece of bread in your cupboard and wondering when you're going to get another can of soup the next day, I think you'll be singing a different tune. You'll be thinking, man, I wish Irving had gotten me that.
If you would close your trap for a minute.
Really, Irving? You don't think that the rest of us would help her out?
Thanks, Doc.
You know what I mean.
Listen to me here. Listen. You weren't the only one that had a good evening.
Oh, did you? Irving sits up, leans forward.
Why are you surprised by this?
No. When you have a good evening, it often means that there's something interesting going on.
I can't say anything right now, but I did have a little bit of a payday today, so...
Well, when you can speak, you know who you can speak to, right?
It won't be you. Don't worry.
I'm heartbroken.
Whatever.
Irving, your words kind of trail off from that, and then it's at that point you notice that the server has been standing there. You're not really sure how long. He's just standing there, and he's doing his best to, ignore everything that you're saying, and he's doing that looking up kind of thing, and he's just holding a basket in one hand and a little bottle of what looks like oil in the other, and your words kind of trail off, and he says,
I'm going to look up at him.
Okay.
So how much did you hear?
Well, the only thing actually I heard, sir, was bread. And speaking of bread, I have some here for you. This is compliments of the house, of course. And he sets it down, and He reaches in, produces a little glass bowl and sets it down and does a swirl or 5 of olive oil, and he cracks some pepper over it. He says, "Again, compliments of the house, and I'll be back later, and enjoy the bread. This is not the last slice of bread," which, and he looks at you, Miles, was the only thing that I heard. He smiles.
Grazie.
He smiles that smile that you know he heard absolutely everything, but he is not going to say anything. And he just immediately just scoots away. And you sit there and you enjoy your bread and your drinks and whatnot. Something magically pays for it, so you don't have to deduct any money or anything from your resources for this.
It's on our tab.
While you're sitting there eating, Miles, make me a notice roll.
Notice?
Ooh, okay. During dinner, Miles, you make eye contact with a few other people around this club, and you don't know if it's incidental eye contact or if it is purposeful eye contact that you made with these people, because it's brief, and it's that type of eye contact where you absolutely, you get a look at each other's face, and then both sets of eyes move on. But again, you're not sure if it's one or the other. The evening kind of goes and continues. You guys are eating and you're sharing, and sometimes Irving's talking too loud, and sometimes heads turn, and sometimes they don't. And and the camera kind of pulls back. We fade out from there.
And now, some wondrous words of wisdom about products to make your life better.
Did you know? The miracles of modern science have given birth to many an amazing device. Our lives truly become easier and easier with each new item turned out by these incredible patent scientists. But there are those devices that some might call downright strange, unusual, or even weird. If these are the items you seek, then look no further than the catalog from Montgomery Weird. Yes, the Montgomery Weird catalog contains many a rare item, some not seen in over a generation. Within the pages of the catalog, you'll find entry after intriguing entry, with the devices ranging from the curious and harmless to the latest in experimental home defense and personal protection. We know you can consider from other well-known catalogs, but why choose the unreliable services from a bygone era when you can choose the newest and most attentive ministrations from the company that is here to serve you? Choose the company that's home to heartwarming tale and charming character Rudolph the Ghost Rock Reindeer, Montgomery Weird. To order your catalog, send your name and address and 25 cents to MW Catalog, P.O. Box 420, Chicago, Illinois, or simply purchase one over the counter at any Wolfraith's 5 and Dime. Now's the time to get your orders in for the coming Christmas season. Thank you for shopping. Montgomery Weird.
Well, even in these tough times, everyone deserves a little break, and these four just had theirs. Those dark shadows down gloomy alleyways are growing longer. dark tendrils reaching out to lay claim to the unwary, and their cold embrace is trying to wrap around Grace Gunn and company. And you can be damn sure it'll be one hell of a clam bake. Alright, that's enough for now, so shake a leg till next time. But just so we're clear, the part of Grace Gunn was played by Jill Rich. Irving Holt was played by Brad Smith. Miles Pike is played by Scott R. Nelson. Tommy Bam Bam Prue is played by Brent Rich. And the boss in charge of this clip joint is Chris Hussey. I'm E.I. Wick, and remember, taking a wooden nickel is less trouble than a ghost rock dime.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Hexaco Mystery Radio Hour. This game references the Savage Worlds game system, available from Pinnacle Entertainment Group at peginc.com. It is unofficial media content permitted under the Media Network Content Agreement. This content is not managed, approved, or endorsed by Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Certain portions of the materials used are the intellectual property of Pinnacle, and all rights are reserved. Savage Worlds, all related settings, and unique characters, locations, logos, and trademarks are copyrights of Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Hexaco wants to remind you to make your car run like magic and always use great Hexaco products. Until next time, I'm Silver Sterling, reminding you to always keep one eye on the shadows.